Hello and welcome to today's video. This time we're taking a look through and cleaning up another batch of mid-1950s vintage Pelican paperbacks. So sit back, relax, and let's take a look. Okay then, so starting with this one, number A281, and it's Uses and Abuses of Psychology. And it's first published 1953, this one. Now, I suspect that this video won't be too long compared to some that we've had to do, simply because, well, A, we can't polish the books, we can only brush them down because they've got these paper covers, and B, I don't think generally that my Pelicans from this period are too rough. In all honesty, I don't think they're too bad, so we'll give them a thorough looking over and well, we'll see what we can see. Chemical Industry 282. Certainly a few of them are going to be foxed in that, but it's not going to hurt to go through them all carefully. Sacred Books of the World, wow. I don't know if I've got any sacred books, but I've got some books that are important to me, that's for sure. (1954), that one. I think these are all pretty much like mid-1950s. This is pretty foxed, isn't it? The Legacy of the Ancient World, Volume 1. Yeah, this is a bit of a foxy one. Yeah, it's been a little bit through the wars, but he's borderline. It really is quite badly foxed, isn't it, that one? I am tempted. It's so bad, I might actually pop that on a on my once upgrade list, you know. Now here's part 2, which isn't anything like as foxed as that first part, which almost felt rusty. In all honesty, it's still got a bit of fox in. I think it seems to me that the Pelicans from this period are a bit susceptible to foxing, possibly. A286 Berkeley. Now, these are, in effect, they are only Pelicans. They're not the main sort of pride of my collection or anything like that. So I am more than happy to accept a sort of lower grade or like mid-range copies. It's not the end of the world by any means, because it's not like I'm, you know, reading these books all the time or anything like that. So I certainly don't mind copies. They're a little bit the worse for wear. It's absolutely fine. Nice little book on topography there. A slightly better quality paper. Literature of the United States. Now, I bet that's an interesting read. Very, very dusty. And like a lot of these sort of foxed books, they become very brittle as the pages age, which is not good, but it's just how it is. You can sort of see little bits of it coming off. We'll probably notice that when we give that really dirty top a brush there. It'll probably bring up an awful lot of stuff. The Age of Chaucer. That was all right. This is The Age of Shakespeare, Volume 2. Now this one is actually in a dust wrapper, which is quite unusual. So we'll take the dust wrapper off. I mean, look at it, it's a bit sort of stained and looking a little bit the worse for wear, but at the same time, at least it's there. It's probably pretty scarce, you know, I would imagine. But underneath, it's kept the book in quite nice condition, which is what you always hope with a dust wrapper. It's like almost like it's doing its job in protecting the book to begin with. And this one's certainly much sort of brighter than some of the others we've looked at. Still a bit of fox in there, but nothing to really worry about. So yeah, not bad. That big thick book. That's probably why they stuck it in a wrapper, you know. Penguin would sometimes do that with like their thick books or their double volumes, they would call them. Although I don't think this is actually marked as a double volume. Yeah, it's not. So usually the big thick ones have, it would have a double Pelican across the bottom to say and marked double volume, you know. But not to worry. And from a big thick one to a very small one at the Queen's Government. It's a book on government there, just 140 pages or so, whereas that last one was 300 plus, 300 to 400. Okay, grasses. Now these are the sorts of ones that I really like because they're generally well illustrated throughout. Admittedly, this one's in black and white, but this is the sort of book that Pelican did very well, in my opinion. Really like these. I even got a little ruler on the inside cover. Very nice. So I think what we'll do with this first mini stack, as it were, we'll give them a brush. As I said, there's no polishing involved today, but we will need to brush them. Very dusty they are too. But I think if we just do them in little wedges, we'll save the studio getting too full of dust. Of course, eventually I am going to need to get all these bagged up at some point. But I'm going to try. I've got quite a list of ones I'd like to get better copies of that are a little on the low grade side. So I'll probably try and get a few of those licked first, and then perhaps do a bit of a bagging run, so that I'm not replacing loads that I've already bagged up. Now, I have done one of these before, but talking about next week's video, it's going to be a version of a video that's going to go out on my main channel tomorrow, actually, which is my March pickups. So in my March pickups video, I've got all the new books that I picked up in March, and there was loads. But I also include all the new books that have been sent to me for review, stuff that's come out that I've just bought, and I'm in the process of reading, that sort of stuff. So it's cleaning, but it's also a bit of vlogging as well. Now, I'm going to edit that version down because it's a 2 hours, 55-minute video. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous length, but there was a lot of stuff in March. And I'm just going to edit it so that you've got all the cleaning parts of it in one foul swoop. And that's going to be next week's video. So look out for that one. I think it's you'll enjoy it. The last one of those I put up on the channel has had a couple of thousand views, and it seems quite positive. So it'll basically be all the cleaning. So that'll be next week's video. I'm going to edit it this week. It's a big old long one, as you can imagine. But I have already filmed most of it. It's just going to be a bit of an editing job. Anyway, that's that first pile there. What a mess. Let's crack on. So we got The Social Psychology of Industry. Okay. When's this? 1954 now. A short history of French literature. I just changed the camera angle slightly so we can sort of see a little bit more of the brushing action here. So this book on porcelain, that's quite interesting. I've had a bit of an interest in sort of porcelain and stuff made of clay through the Great Pottery Showdown, which is showing on Channel 4. It's a really interesting show. I haven't done any sort of pottery since I was a kid, but I really have been enjoying watching that series. It's been great. Oxford Apostles, a character study of the Oxford movement. Now this is a nice nick. Another big book. 1954. And that was number 300. That's quite interesting. They would usually put something a little bit special for an anniversary release. Penguin stroke Pelican. That sort of was their way. The Criminal Law. History of modern China. A little bit out of date now, isn't it, that one? Man and the Vertebrates. And this is volume 2 of the same book. Once again, quite nicely illustrated that. The sort of thing Pelican did very well. Leibniz. Yeah, so far we haven't even had a single pencil mark to about, have we? It's just the way it goes. This is the next. It was another whole box of Pelicans. This is just how it goes. Silver. But that's okay. If this video is a little bit short in the end, don't worry, because there's, about 120 in the back catalogue, and I can't imagine you've watched them all. So do go back and have a little look. Once again, a little bit of an update on the recording of the videos in 4K and the new sound that I'm using, the new microphones. Yeah, we have had the odd comment saying that they don't prefer the new audio and video. Most people do, though. It's been actually really positive. So what I think I'll do, I'm gonna do a poll on my channel. So you can do a community post. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, do you prefer the old or the new with my book cleaning videos? And we'll see what the popular opinion is with the people who decide to vote, if they feel strongly about it one way or the other, and we'll just see what the results are. So I shall pop one of those up sort of midweek, I think. Dusty books here, I tell you. But as expected, apart from the brush for the top, so far we've not had any repair work to do. It's just been the really dirty page edges mainly. Alright, I reckon we're about halfway, just a tad over. English furniture styles, 1500 to 1830. Well, I guess it's of interest to somebody. My interest in furniture doesn't go anywhere near that far back. I prefer, I like mid-50s stuff. In fact, the stuff that was published around the time these books were being published. I find sort of mid-century mid-20th century stuff, actually really quite nice. There's a couple of sellers on Instagram who I've been following for years, and they specialise in that stuff. But one of the ones I really like, he's based in Ireland, so he doesn't often come over to the mainland UK, so I've never actually met him. But I know if I saw one of his stands at a show, I'd probably end up buying 3 or 4 pieces because he's got such lovely stuff. He generally sort of repurposes it. History of the United States, Volume 1. Yeah, Pelican History of the World series. This is what Pelican did so very well as well, you know, they really did. As well as their beautiful, like, non-fiction natural history books, which I think are also a real highlight. It's these histories of certain countries, history of the English-speaking people, that sort of stuff is just brilliant. Here's volume 2. Okay, not too bad. A little bit the worse for wear, but not too bad. This is Roman Britain. So this is the Pelican History of Britain, Volume 1. It's Roman Britain. I see this one's actually got some pencil markings on the back. So we will get that off with a bit of luck anyway. Yeah, a bit of vintage doodling. But it's coming off quite nicely, quite easily there. There we are. That's fine. So we have actually had some writing to rub out today. The prehistory of East Africa. As I said, it wasn't going to be a long video today, in actual fact, and even less length than I thought, because the books aren't too bad. William Blake here, J. Bronowski. (1954), this one. But we don't mind. Oh, look at that. Oh dear. That one has been sort of stored like that, sadly. Good news is, though, it sort of uncreased itself quite nicely, which is quite lucky. So I don't know how that one's happened. It's not a very firm crease, so hopefully that was just an oversight in the storage at my end. Another reason why it's quite a nice idea to bag all your books if you can, simply because things like creases like that and accidental damage, it's just not going to happen when the books are bagged up. And that's another very strong case for actually doing it, you know. It's just such a huge task, but I am, you know, I've made small steps now, and bits of the collection are getting bagged up. And I've got to admit, they do look absolutely lovely. Now, this one here is quite interesting because you can see the sort of the speckly, like silver, almost like tin foil on the back. Now, that is because this book would have originally had a belly band around it, and it was for Penguin's 21st birthday, which was in 1956. So I do have, in the next batch of video, 1956, in the next batch of Pelicans, I've got about 4 which have got the belly band still intact. So we'll be able to have a look at that little, very fragile bit of foil. But that's what that is. It's the remnants of that. Those particular ones should definitely be bagged up because the foil itself is incredibly delicate. Right, let's give these a brush. Then we've got another pile to do still. And then we will be just about done for today. I said not a long video at all, actually, this time round. But sometimes that's just the way it goes. But as I said, if you want a bit more, thankfully you've got plenty of choice on the channel. And plenty to go back and have a look at. Okay. It's a mucky business, this, you know. Right, one more stack to do. Daily life in ancient Rome, and I feel on the back, yeah, look at that, it's got that silver markings again where it would have been, it would have had the band around it. It's another one which has got the little remnants of the 1956 Penguin celebration. Man on his nature. Electricity. Got a thin little tome. Probably quite interesting. Man, morals and society. Yeah, very nice. From Dawn to Marvel. It's another highly rated series, the Guide to English Literature. Microbes, and that's a really nice copy of that compared to some of the other ones. So this was probably one that came from a dealer, or what I got outside of the main collection, which is admittedly a little on the sun side, shall we say, but not to worry. Prelude to Mathematics. It's got a few pages turned over here. There we are. The colour problem. So is that on, yeah, racial discrimination, prejudice. Interesting subject. French architecture. Loads of photos in that one. Still 1956. Like British Wildflowers, Volume 1. Another one in that gorgeous series. Look at the illustrations virtually on every page. Gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. So it's just the sort of thing Penguin stroke Pelican did so well. There was a real level of quality there that for its time was really outstanding. 1955. That one. Bit of tanning around the middle, but I'm not going to worry about that. And there's volume 2, so it came out back to back. Yeah, A330 and A331. Same format. And the last one is Sex and Society, A332. (1955). So around, well, they've ranged from 54 to 56, haven't they, in this particular batch? But yeah, I had all my stuff ready, my glue and all sorts, and well, in the end, all we needed was, well, one little bit of rubbing out and the brush. So yeah, as expected, in all honesty, it was this time round a bit of a shorter video. As I said, next time I've got my March pickups, which is going to be really long. That's going to be about 2.5 hours, so I'll be making it up next week, I promise. And then we got another pan video. We've got a few more groovy ones to get done, and we've got to bag the rest of the Albatross books. So with a few other British publishers, so I'm going to do that as well. So a few good ones on the horizon. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I just see I've just found a little bit of pencil on the back of this one. Look at that. Just spotted that. Missed quality control, you see. You can't get the staff. At least it's on the back. Yeah, actually, it's faded. It's not completely off, but it's not bad. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Short and sweet, as they say, short and sweet. If you have, do please give it the thumbs up. If you've not already, do please hit the subscribe button. If you want to really support the channel, you can go over to Patreon and join there from as little as £1. Or on my other channel, which posts 3 videos a week, you can join as a YouTube channel member and have a funky star next to your name, should you want it. But if not, just do please like the video, and thank you very much for watching today. And I will be back next week with the epically long video, just sort of make up for this slightly short one today. So thanks for watching today, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.